One agent with access to every department is a data leak waiting to happen. The fix is not a bigger prompt. It is a supervisor plus specialized agents, each locked to its own governed data. Today we wire a human resources agent and a finance agent on Microsoft Fabric. A router picks the right one for each question. This is for architects who must pass a security review. 3 parts: the boundary problem, governed data access, and the router. Watch the identity trick in part 2. It quietly decides whether a user ever sees data they should not. An all-access agent inherits the union of every permission you gave it. Security teams reject that instantly. One prompt injection or bad retrieval, and payroll data reaches the wrong person. The enterprise pattern is scoping by domain. The HR agent only touches HR data. The finance agent only touches financial models and KPIs. Blast radius shrinks to a single domain. Each agent gets a narrow system prompt and a narrow data connection. That is easier to audit, easier to reason about, and far easier to defend. Each domain gets its own Microsoft Fabric data agent. These are generally available now. A Fabric data agent gives conversational, read-only question answering over governed OneLake sources, pointed at specific lakehouses, warehouses, or semantic models. The HR data agent sees only HR tables. The finance data agent sees only financial models. Access stays inside Fabric's governance, not copied into a vector store you forgot to secure. You define the scope once in Fabric. Every downstream agent inherits that boundary automatically. Here is the part most demos skip. A scoped agent still leaks if it queries as a service principal. That principal often sees everything. The fix is on behalf of identity pass-through. The Fabric data agent runs the query as the END user, not the app. So a recruiter and a manager asking the same HR agent get different rows back. Row and object security in Fabric does the enforcement. The agent inherits the user's real permissions. Without pass-through, your scoping is cosmetic. Wire this before you demo anything. Now the orchestration. Azure AI Foundry agent service runs a supervisor agent. You attach the HR agent and finance agent as connected agents. You do not hand-code routing rules. The supervisor delegates using each connected agent's name and description. Write those descriptions carefully. They are the routing logic. A payroll question lands on HR, a margin question lands on finance. Note the direction of travel. The classic connected agents API is being superseded by Foundry workflows for orchestration. Same idea, more control. Check the current docs. The connection itself is a few lines with the Azure AI Projects SDK. You create a FabricTool from your Fabric connection ID. Then attach it when you create the agent. That connection ID points at the governed data agent, and it carries the identity pass-through. Each department agent gets its own connection ID. That single ID is your data boundary. Get it wrong and the wrong domain gets exposed. Step back and see the full shape. The user hits the supervisor agent in Foundry. The supervisor routes to the HR or finance connected agent. Each connected agent calls its own Fabric data agent through FabricTool. Each Fabric data agent queries OneLake as the end user via pass-through. Identity flows all the way down the chain. No agent can reach a domain it was not given. That is the whole enforcement story in one diagram. Recap the build. Scope agents per department, never one all-access agent. Give each a Fabric data agent over governed OneLake. Confirm on behalf of pass-through so queries run as the user. Let the supervisor route by name and description, and watch for Foundry workflows next. To verify, log in as 2 users with different permissions. Ask the same question. If the rows differ, your scoping works. If they match, your pass-through is broken. Check the current Azure docs before you ship. If this helped, do me a favor, hit the like button, subscribe, and tap the bell so you don't miss the next one. See you in the next video.